Hey, this is Brent Arnold, and what I want to talk about is how to kind of troubleshoot if you have a Windows machine and you're trying to plug in your Android device and it's not being recognized. Let's see what we can do to fix that. So here I am on my Windows machine. See, I like Windows. I can use it. I know how to do that. The key thing here is that with Windows, depending on the version, it may or may not recognize your device up front, and you may have to install the device driver. Let's first take a look at if I run, say I'm in Flash Builder 4.5 and I've got my app here and I want to debug this. So I'll choose debug configurations and I want to run it on the device, and I go ahead and choose debug. Notice I get this dialog. It says select a device, and it says cannot find a connected device. Now if we look over here at the device, you'll see that I am connected, and if I scroll down and look, it says USB debugging connected and USB connection, and if I check what type, I've got it set to charge only like we talked about. So what's the deal here? Well, the deal is that the device has not been recognized, and in its current state it won't be recognized by Windows if the device driver isn't installed. So let's go ahead and cancel out here from Flash Builder and go ahead and click OK. And the thing that we want to do is change the settings on the phone first. So this would be kind of a series of things to do in order to get the device recognized. So if I go back to my view here, and if I click USB, and let's uncheck USB debugging and then see how that's set up. So we've turned off USB debugging. Now notice what just happened, and if you saw this, the Windows just recognized the device, and I realized that I don't have it, you can't see below here on the screen, but anyway, it's all these are the devices that are connected, and all I did was turn off USB debugging, and then Windows did something. It saw it. So now let's go ahead and go back to the phone and turn on USB debugging. Click OK. And at this point, let's see if it's recognized. Go ahead and click debug. Okay, it says it's not recognized. Now, that's okay. We have more steps to take. So go ahead and click cancel here. And let's uncheck USB debugging one more time. And now at this point, what we want to do is install the device driver, and there are a couple of ways to get to that. First, let's see if we can get the device recognized. So if I look back over here and I check my USB connection, let's go ahead and set this to USB mass storage for a minute. Go ahead and click OK. Now in a second here, okay, now notice what's happening. It has recognized it as a device, and it says install Motorola driver published by Motorola. Now, this is what you would want to do if the phone is not being recognized in Flash Builder. So go ahead and click this, and it's going to launch a little dialog and install this. So we'll go and we'll just kind of walk through this. Fairly simple. Now what this means is that the phone, see, it comes with the device drivers installed. I'm sorry, it comes with the installer files for the device driver. So that when you connect it as a USB mass storage device, like if I click back here and I look at my connection, built into the phone are the device drivers, and that typically happens on most all of the devices. There have been instances where you'll have a device and you'll put it on USB mass storage and it'll recognize it, but then you go to install it, or there's no installer, there's no installation for it. That was the case when I got my Motorola Zoom. It did not recognize the device, and I had to download it from the website. So just keep that in mind. If you don't find it on the device itself, you may have to download and install it from the manufacturer website. So we'll let this go for a minute, and through the magic of television, we'll come back when this has been done and completed. All right, it's been successfully installed. Go ahead and close this out. Now, at this point, switch back over and switch to charge only and click OK. And now turn back on USB debugging. Click OK. Now, notice how it's running this little dialog and it's installing device driver, because now the devices have been found. Hey, check it out. And then it's all Verizon this and the other. Look, it's ready to use. Okay, now we'll go ahead and close that. And let's go back to debugging. Check it out. We didn't get that dialog, and it is launching. Look at that. Something's working. That's good to know. It is working. All right, look over the device. Lo and behold, it works. Yay, it works. Ooh, remember those cool little, let's click the back button. Remember the cool flip effects that we did? Awesome. That's so cool. All right, so that's how we debug or troubleshoot. Now, one more thing that I'll show you in case you didn't have the device driver on the device itself. You can also go to, if you navigate within the install folder for Flash Builder, look in utilities and then look in drivers and Android. They have Android, a majority of the Android device drivers listed here. And so you could go that route if you don't find it on your device. All right, good job.